BioBoosters Hackathon. Yeah, you just heard that my colleague will be recording, so don't worry if you have missed the part of the beginning or will leave earlier. We advise to stay here and listen through all of the speakers because the event will be very insightful and will give you also more information for the upcoming events scheduled for this hackathon. Yeah, we will have this recording afterwards posted also to the link which provides more information about Stora Enso hackathon. But I will share my screen so we could quickly go through everything what is related to today's event before we move to the most important part, and you will be able to see the main thing why we are here and what is happening. So I hope that you can see my screen. Some of my colleagues could shout if you don't. Do you see the screen?
Don't see it in full screen. Oh, now we do. There we go.
Okay. So welcome to Stora Enso Hackathon launch webinar with a basic topic, protecting wood, preserving tomorrow. This is our theme for this year, for this autumn, in one of the hackathons which is organized within the project BioBoosters. And you will hear more about the project later on, but we will start with some technical things which probably could be useful even if you are frequent Zoom users. So yeah, your cameras may be on. You can use them during all of this event, but for the questions or for the comments, you are invited to use either the chat or raise your hand and we will be able to give the floor afterwards to you. As far as I have seen, all of you have already listed your first name and last name. You could add also the organization you are representing. And as you can see, there is a short introduction how to do that. But from our side, one more thing regarding these technical issues, that yeah, if you are asking the question, please make sure that you are addressing that to everyone. If we will not catch up, here are the partners also from the project who could take a note and give also the floor to the person who has raised the hand or asked the question. But yeah, to come here and to talk about today, before we move to the most important part, my name is Inguna Kutsinga. I'm representing the organization called Vidzeme Planning Region, and today I'm here as your event manager and will be spending a bit more than an hour and a half together with you. You will see the program later, but this is the first event where you will be able to hear what hides behind the magic word Stora Enso Hackathon. After this event, 3 more are planned, but you will get the information in upcoming minutes, and we will talk about each of the steps more. But yeah, I'm happy to see that today we are quite international team here. We have representatives not only from Latvia, but we have a lot of participants representing both Sweden, Finland, Poland, Lithuania, Estonia. Therefore, we are happy to say that for Stora Enso, this is a great possibility to share the challenge and look for the possible solution providers in the international range. Regarding today, so here you can see how the event will go. I am already almost 1 minute over my time, but don't worry, we will have enough time to cover all of the topics. Within the minutes, you will meet representatives from the main reason why we are here, from the company Stora Enso Wood Products Lantkalna Mill. It will be Director Uldis Deisons and Mill Environmental and Energy Manager Ivar Skudra, who will tell you more about the challenge, how it began, what is happening, what they are looking forward to, and what is the outcome they expect after all of this journey called BioBoosters Hackathon. We had planned also one presentation, but with that I will give you more insights later. Unfortunately, Professor Nasko is on the way today and couldn't join, but we hope that we will meet him later during the process in the hackathon and time when the teams will meet up at Stora Enso, but I will tell about this more. And then we will have another presentation regarding the specific topic of blue stains and insects, and everything will end up with some insights about the BioBoosters concept and the results of the first round. We have a lot of things to be proud of already from the first round, but our project manager and lead from YAMK University of Applied Sciences and Aalto will tell you more. To not take more time from the next presentation, I now will stop sharing the screen and I will invite the representatives from Stora Enso Latvia and Launtal Mill, especially Uldis Daisons and Ivar Skudra, to present the challenge they got. They are ready to give you as the potential solution providers. And yeah, Uldi and Ivar, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hello everyone. Really great to see you here. My name is Uldis Daisons, and as Inguna was saying, I'm mill director of Launkalne Mill and also chairman of the Stora Enso Latvia. And Ivars will help me, so Ivars, please also tell about you, what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you very much, Uldis. Yes, good afternoon for all of you. My name is, as you already heard, Ivar Skudra, and I'm environmental and energy manager at Launkalne Mill. Thank you.
Yes, and I will share my screen. Let's see. Zoom is not our everyday tool, but please tell when you see the screen.
Yes, we can see the screen, only full, yeah, now it's all good, thank you.
Now it's okay. Okay, but let's start. I will first tell about our company, and then Ivars will tell exactly about Hackathon and the target. So what is our company? I think, and I hope that most of you have heard the name Stora Enso, and I will start with our company purpose and values. So it's do good for people and the planet. And also our values is lead and do what's right. And let's start with the Stora Enso company worldwide. So Stora Enso is one of the largest private forest owners in the world, and also leading provider of the renewable products in packaging, biomaterials, and wooden constructions. Our shares are listed in the Helsinki and Stockholm exchanges, and also traded in the US. So in general, sales is close to the 10 billion euros in the 2023. Also, you can see here operational EBIT number. It was last year more than 300 million euros, and we are around 20,000 people worldwide. If we go a bit more in this product, so let's start with the renewable packaging. I think the packaging now becomes really is one of the biggest really division, and this is really broadest portfolio in the industry, addressing also the needs of the these consumers, and it's very clear it's renewable, and there it's packaging material and both packaging solutions. Then the next is sustainable building solutions, and this is wooden building concepts and also traditional wood products. And actually our mill is a part of this wood product division. And then the third is a bio-based innovations. So it's a different products, and it's also really many these projects which is coming also in as R&D and very different things. One of the words what we are saying also, everything what is today done from the fossil materials could be in future done from the wood. We are serving markets around the world. So if our production is more concentrated in the Europe, as you see here, as a center, but there is also forest plantations in another continents, and there is sales offices around the whole world, and there is also innovation centers and design studios. But now I will come bit more narrow, and I will come to our division, Stora Enso wood products. So we have 14 sawmills and operational sites. They are in the Europe. You can see here. It consists from the two regions. It's one is the South region, where also we belong, and then another is a North region, which is actually starts from Estonia, but the border here is between our countries. So we are around 4,000 people. We are processing and then producing around 5.5 million cubic meters of the sawn timber, and then turnover is around 1.6 billion euros. As here you can see also in the products what it means, but actually almost half of our products is a further processed materials. So different like a CLT, which is coming more and more now up. It's around more than 300,000 cubic meters. LVL, which is close to 100,000 pellets, which is around almost half of the million tons. So it's really big volumes. And sales mix, currently we are still more in this traditional wood products, and then these building solutions, what we see is ours and in our strategy where we like to go. So it's around 25%, but the target is to go more and more to this building solutions. And what we are calling with traditional wood products, this is a classic sawn, classic planed products, also industrial windows and the door components, pellets, and in the sawmilling we are number one in the Europe. Building solutions, it's more about this, like as already said, CLT, or this is cross-laminated timber. Then it's this LVL or laminated veneer lumber, construction beams, services and tools, and as example in the CLT we are number one globally. And what is our targets where we like to go? We really like to go from the commodity products to value-added solutions, as there is examples. So just not from the material from the shelves, but in the future we like more and more to go for this just-in-time building elements, and that's something what is already done. And so, for example, that you can order and really say that we need a floor for this particular project, or one example is the CLT houses where you produce almost all house elements and already cut out windows and doors in the factory, and you just deliver and put together in the building site. So why it is so, and why it's so important that wood is lightweight and strong? It's really up to 30% faster erection time. It's also up to 80% less truck deliveries to site. So it leads that construction-related CO2 emissions can be reduced up to 70% if you are building by wood. Then fast and quieter construction. Also, this is a healthy and safe work site. And also this resistance, sound resistance and thermal, it's really great for this isolating properties with the wood. So it's a bit about our products, but also it's really important is sustainable forest management for us. As you were saying, we are one of the biggest forest owners, and it's really, we promote this sustainable forest management practices, and we see how it's important, and really this is one of our these basics, and we are using certified wood only, and also we ensure that our own forest is certified with this both chains like FSC and PFC, and we make sure that also all logs supplied to our sawmills coming from the legal and sustainable managed sources. And finally, we are coming even more down from the division to our mill. This is already the mill what I can tell most, and then if this was this broader areas, but very quick facts about Launcalm. So hope you will all see in this hackathon day. But this is our mill from the air, and our production is more to this base production now. We are producing sawn timber and further processed timber, including thermowood. Our annual capacity is around 260,000 cubic meters sawn timber, 70,000 cubic meters processed timber, and about 50,000 ton pellets. We are founded in year 2001. There is around 200 people working. So we are also exporting our products worldwide. It's Europe, Asia, America, Australia. Same time, our biggest market is actually local market, which is Latvia, and we are proud of this. And we are using currently 100% of our raw material. So everything is used, starting from the really this products what we are producing, like sawn, and then also ending with the whole byproduct chips, and then using also bark and sawdust. And by this we are coming to our hackathon challenge, and here I will give the word to the Ivars, who will tell that what is our challenge when we like to go to this all products, and then we like to increase our share of the further processed. We like to go and produce these materials, different building solutions, but there is also different obstacles, which is really maybe letting or challenging us, and which we need to solve. So Ivars, please tell about our challenge for this.
Okay, thank you, Ulysses. As Ulysses already mentioned before, that our proposals do good for people and the planet. So we're addressing the challenge of sustainability and circularity by exploring innovative solutions. So in a short words about our problem, the problem overview basically is that the warmer temperatures and extended summers, as we all mentioned the last years, the periods leads to increase the challenges and maintaining the low quality. And also we divide this the overview into different parts, which is one is about the blue stain, and one is about the wood damaging insects. So if we're talking about the first challenge is that reduce the blue stain in soil logs using an environmental friendly solution with lower water consumption. So basically at the moment we are using our groundwater, the part of the we're using our groundwater to sprinkle our logs, and it's take roughly about 2/3 of our total amount of the water than we are using during the year. And the second challenge is the reduce of the wood damaging insects. We can talk more closely later on about what kind of types that we talk, and we will show some pictures and examples in real life for those participants who are going to visit our mill on site. But they basically, yes, those are the two main challenges for this hackathon. Next slide, please. So in the three words, what we are looking for, and basically it's efficient of solution, feasibility, profitability, compliance with Stora Enso sustainability goals, and reduction of water consumption, basically what already I mentioned, and also required resources, which includes the human resources, implementation times, and of course it's we cannot forget about the cost side as well. And if we are talking about the some finalizing stage, then and the winning phase, so for the winning team, the solution may be considered for a pilot implementation at Stora Enso Långholmen mill, with the potential to extend the solution across all 14 of our mills. So as Ulrich already mentioned, we have 14 mills around the Europe. So at the end, if we will find some really proper, really good solution which fits with our mill, that's basically includes the options, then we can use the same system for all the rest of our mills as well. So it's quite challenging, I would say, at the moment. So best of luck for all of us. Thank you very much.
So that was all from our side in short words.
Thank you very much. I think it was a good insight coming from the overview of the company as it is and is known as Stora Enso worldwide up to Launkalne. Uldis already mentioned, for those teams who will be selected for the hackathon days, there will be this great opportunity to go also to Launkalne mill and see all of these issues also on site. It usually gives a very, very visual and straightforward understanding, like what are the most urgent things to be solved, what can be done, or probably how these issues could be further on solved, not only in Latvia, but also in all the other mentioned European sawmills. But probably some of the participants have some questions in mind already. So if you have them, please raise your hand. If not, Ivar, maybe before we move to the further these speakers can once again remind regarding the amount of or types of the insects you are dealing with. You mentioned that it will be shown during the on-site visit, but probably you can give some information already for those who are just now figuring out if they have a solution in mind or not.
Basically, as far we have information at the moment, we're talking about the ambrosia beetle. Thank you.
Yeah, we will have later the presentation about the blue stains and insects. Maybe we will see there how these tiny problems, which can cause a lot of problems, looks like in the real life. But probably some questions from the participants. Is everything clear regarding the presentation? And I have seen right now two questions. One is from Eva Friedman, and the question is, the win is the possibility that they may be considered a pilot study. If you don't want to do a pilot, will the winning team get anything else?
I could open the answer. This idea is that it's really this pilot is like a possibility, but what we could think. That's the current.
Okay, Eva, if you have any additional, just let us know. And then there are two-part question from Damian Kuznovic. And the first one is, do you know what kind of fungi appears on the wood?
Maybe Ivars know exactly, but it's I think the problem is similar in all mills. So I guess that even the specialists in here, and I noticed that here was this planet professors, and so they can, I think, explain much better than we. But it's clearly that this fungi and the insects and the blue stain really lowers the quality of the timber, and it's not anymore usable for our main products, and this goes like bioproducts, which is saleable, which is used, but it cannot be included in this value-added products, and then we really are then losing money, and just to add that it's actually like it's not only our 14 mills which is having this problem. Actually, it's industry overall target. So it's a winning team if you have good solution. It's actually a really good opportunity to later to expand it. So that's in all countries, I'm quite sure.
So that would be this carrot also for the teams from the question whichever raised. So
absolutely.
Absolutely. The pilot in this case is not the bad thing. So but the pilot can start a very commercial and long-term collaboration. But we hope that you will find something you will be willing to try out and see how it goes. But from Damien, there's the second part of the question. How much water do you need to get rid of the blue stains at the moment?
Yes, there can comment also. We are talking about roughly about 10,000 cubic meters monthly. Some of the months there's the more usage, some of them are a bit less. It depends on the log quantity, capacity of the logs on a log yard.
Yeah, probably you can add if you have this information. Does it differs a lot between these European sawmills, or it's quite similar? The same happens also in all the other 13 which you have.
I think consumption will be really different, and it depends on the availability of the water, I would say. As we have very limited the source, we need to reuse it and so, and this water is actually not avoiding totally. It just helps to reduce this impact. I believe that in other mills, this volume can be much bigger, and if you are watering this all the time or so. So we are just partly doing this. So I would say it's not the same. It can be much bigger. And I know the mills also, which is not sprinkling at all this. So there is also such approach.
Yeah, and the final question from my side, probably some of the participants will have more. Without sharing any internal or commercial information, have you had already tried a solution to find a solution? Have you had any kind of approach from the company so far? Is there anything in the market, or you are looking for completely new ideas?
As far I know, okay, for this watering, this has been one of this ways, and also in the longer history, if you would go hundreds of years ago, maybe the logs has been kept in the lakes, for example, in especially Scandinavia, which has been always a pioneer for the wood industry. We have been trying some maybe many years ago some chemicals for this. We can avoid with that insects, but of course it's really important now is to prove that these chemicals are sustainable, that the products afterwards can be used, for example, in furniture, kids' furniture and such things. So really, therefore, I would like to highlight this word sustainable here, and then eco-friendly is the solutions, which is because as we know, there is different, and that's really important for us to not to harm the and nature and to really same time but preventing this. We know that this is challenging and but therefore we are giving this challenge now here. So
yeah, we appreciate the trust. I think this is one of the things which BioBoosters brand now can take on their shoulders and bravely go forward since we have a very good experience. I mentioned that our project leader will tell later about what have been done so far. And yeah, in this case, we are opening doors not only to the local research institutes, developers, SMEs, and other players of the industry, but also to this international level. So we hope that after today, some ideas will start to rise, and we will see more applications coming in within the month. But yeah, two more things before we continue with some practical part of the process and also the story about BioBoosters. I will quickly share my screen once again. So yeah, now we are moving forward to the next presentation. Unfortunately, this time I have to say that we really hope that everything time-wise will be possible, but after the call this morning with Professor Nasko Terziev, we agreed that I can tell a little bit more about his involvement and how we be able to see him in upcoming events. Right now, Professor is on the way and he's traveling, so all of the appointments which you have regarding the questions for the wood durability and protection for the wide known and really the experts of the field comes up into 2 months. So if you want to book the meeting with them, take the time in consideration. But yeah, a little bit more about Professor Terziev. He is representative from the Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences, and probably some teams who will apply to the hackathon and will be selected to the final stage will meet him also during these consultations of the possible solutions and how to deal with them from the mentoring side. But yeah, you can see here quite a lot of experience and topics which Professor Terziev has the skills and expertise in. It starts from the wood anatomy and wood drying, which probably is one of the cases which are also important in this challenge. But there's so many more that when the time will come closer to these consultations and the communication with the professor, we will be able to connect you with the professor and see more regarding the questions which you would have, because right now there are done some research in material engineering and some projects also in the treatment of the wood and the wood fibers. So probably something of the questions which you will have will be replied and consulted by Mr. Nasko Terziev. But I am happy to say that sorry, I closed the presentation. So I'm happy to say that today here is another expert, another field star, which will be telling the story about the blue stains and insects. I am welcoming to the stage for the upcoming 20 minutes for the talk and presentation. Mr. Mats Jansson from the Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences. Mats is first entomologist. I'm sorry, my English is limited with a very long and hardly to be pronounced words, but yeah, I hope that Mats will give you also the insights more in these questions, not only from the challenges and issues which a company are dealing, but also by the causes, what is the reason behind reappearing of the blue stains and insects, and probably already some kind of insight what have been done or what is been researched so far. So I would like to give the floor to Mats, and I hope that you will be able to get some information to our participants from now on.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. I will give a talk about insects and fungi in freshly dead trees. I will do it rather from the ecological point of view. I feel like I really don't know the content or the knowledge of you where you are from the beginning. So please interrupt me with questions if things are not clear, and so, because yeah, since I don't know the audience very well, there might be unclarities. I should try to share a screen. We'll see if that works out nice. How should we do this so it becomes correct? I have this screen I can share, and then we try to spela, and then it looks like this. Does it look good to you?
We don't see anything yet.
I hope you will see something soon. Yeah. Don't you see anything?
No, at the moment we have just the screen with the list of participants.
That was a bit sad. I'm so sorry for this. Now my pointer is even gone, so I would do it like this. Now we are down again. Dela. Yeah, we'll say dela. And then we are here. And if I choose this one, then can it be better? We try this one.
Yes, you can now share it on the full screen, and
Oh,
it will
but that
break.
sounds, this looks better to you, hopefully. Or do you see both? Both?
We see both slides, but yeah, you can
Yeah,
try.
but I can do it this way, and then you see
This way is
only the
great.
right one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You manage that, so everything is good.
yeah, that's great. Sorry for the technical issues here. Yeah, my name is Mats Jonsselm. I'm, as Igona said, I'm forest entomologist at the Department of Ecology in Uppsala, and I work at the SLU then. And what I wanted to bring you today is I will talk a bit general about dead trees as habitat for insects, because even if you wish your aim is to protect your timber from damages, it's good to know a little bit about why the insects do as they do and how they do it. I think could be useful. And I will tell you about there is a strong relation between insect and fungi in wood. They are very dependent on each other. And then I will present somewhat about which insects that are most importantly occurring in this and what they look like and so. So we start out with dead trees as habitat for insects. And we usually write a curve like this, pixely old curve. It's from my mentor Bengt Enström. He wrote this on a paper once, rather, yeah, just from his mind. But it's a very conspicuous succession of species in the wood. And yeah, the first years we have some species that like the wood, but they are gone already the next year. And then we have another set of species that comes in that like more rotten wood. And yeah, if time are allowed to continue, there will be new species following after each other. So the species you see the first year is something completely different to what you see later if the log is allowed to decay as they are in the forest. But now we are talking about timber, and then we are only looking at the first stage, of course, very fresh wood. And if you're an insect and want to live on fresh wood, how is that habitat for an insect? It's very hard to predict. It's very hard to know where your habitat will be the next year, since they have to move every year to a new log. They need to, yeah, they need to find a new log every year. So they have to be, and they don't know really where it will occur, or they don't know when it will occur either. So some years it will be plenty of wood. There might have been a storm, or some years it's really scarce of wood because, well, there hasn't been a storm or major accident in the forest. Of course, if you're on a sawmill, there is always plenty of wood around, but in nature, it's very hard to predict when they will occur, and it's also very hard to predict where. If it's a year with few fallen trees in the forest, then it's long distance between them and really hard to tell where they occur. So they have to be very opportunistic in their lifestyle. They have to be very good at dispersing, and they disperse very effectively. They can fly for tens of kilometers to find a new habitat. And then they go up in the air and they take out their antennas and they feel the smell of their habitat. They feel the smell of fresh dead trees. They emit alpha pinene and yeah, things like that. So they are very good at finding the smell of the wood, and then they orientate and land on it. So that's a very yeah, they have to be very good at dispersing. yeah, that was the main target message of this. And then we come to this with the insect and fungi. And there was a famous insect nerd, beetle nerd, Roy Crowson from Great Britain. He wrote this very simple figure with a triangle between fungi, wood, and insects. And it's the insects, it means that the insects are really depending on the fungi in the wood. And the fungi are often very much depending on the insects also. The wood is just habitat, but it's very important. Which wood it is can affect both which insects and which fungi that can use the wood. Yeah, it's very easily recognized when you have different tree species have different insects in them. And the fungi are really useful for the insects, or they are not only useful, they are inevitable. They can't live without them, because cellulose and lignin, which is the material of the wood, it's not very nice food, so to say. It's hard to digest and not very nutritious. And then they use the fungi as some help to break down these compounds and make it to something more digestible, so they can make their life out of it. But there is a problem. Exactly as the trees defend themselves, also the fungi defend themselves. They have various chemical components, and so almost all insects that live in wood, they are also specialized on certain fungi. You have to be specialized because fungi are different in the chemical composition and so on. So they need to be somewhat more or less specific. Some insects are extremely specific and some are not so very specific. And also the fungi are very helpful for the insects and dangerous to the trees, because the fungi can help the insects to overcome the defense of the trees. We know the spruce bark beetle, it can kill trees, as they have done on the picture here beside me. I don't know really which way I should turn, but the dead spruces there, they wouldn't be dead if the spruce bark beetle didn't have the fungi as some help to kill the tree. Yeah, so the fungi are really useful for the insects. And when we think of fungi, most people, ordinary people, think of big bracket fungi like this Fomes fomentarius growing on a tree trunk. Here is with some bugs that feed on this fungi. They are specialized on Fomes fomentarius, Aradus betule. So that's the common sense of fungi which people think of, but we are more interested in, or we are more thinking of these blue stain fungi today, which are microscopic, and yeah, ordinary people don't regard this as a fungi, more or less. Yeah, I know what it's called in Swedish. I can't say it in English. And blue stain fungi, it really can be very visible like this, or as in this tree, this pine that was felled, we see one root, one part of the trunk is really infected by this blue stain fungi. And this pine is actually a project where we are investigating the death of pines in Sweden. And we find a lot of blue stain fungi in these trees, and we think that this blue stain fungi is important part of why these pines are killed. But my friends, the mycologists, they claim that needs to be an insect that have transmitted this blue stain fungi to the pine. These blue stain fungi can't spread on their own by the air, which some types of fungi, they are totally wind dispersed, but this is not true for the blue stain fungi. They usually need insects as vectors. And we have one really famous blue stain fungi, bark beetle, for example, Tomicus minor. It is when you have Tomicus minor in the wood is really blue. And what's interesting with Tomicus minor, it really shows that it has, if you compared the larval galleries of Tomicus minor, I have noted them here with some red lines. These larval galleries of Tomicus minor are really short, while we have for Scolytus ratzeburgi on the left there, it's more common way how the larval galleries look. It's rather long galleries that Scolytus ratzeburgi lives, and this shows that Tomicus minor, it is a species that live under the wood and feed through the wood, but the larvae just sit there and eat the blue stain fungi that grows around the head of it. It doesn't need to travel so long to get nourishment from eating the wood. It more eats the fungi that grows around them. So, well, they are really making use of the blue stain fungi, and they are sitting in these small hollows feeding. So Tomicus minor is a very strong example of a blue stain fungus. Vad heter det? Blånadsdragare. But also Scolytus ratzeburgi have some fungi with them, but it's not as conspicuous as for Tomicus minor. But we have some more extreme samples, even Tripodendron lineatum. It's another bark beetle, but it's not only under the bark, it's also coming into the wood. And it has those, you can see that the galleries here in the wood, they are totally black, and it's a fungus, an ambrosia fungus that the beetle brings. And if you look at the beetle, it has a very high pronotum, and under this pronotum, they store some pieces of fungi which they inoculate into the wood when they bore into the wood, and then they inoculate the fungus, and the larvae can just feed from the fungi that grows around the head of it. And then you have these very sharp black galleries, very conspicuous. Yeah, so that, and this ambrosia fungi, they have in many cases not ever been seen in any way in the nature without having the beetles. So they can't live on their own, this fungus. They need to, they are totally associated with the beetle. And I guess the beetle wouldn't be able to live without the fungus either. Yeah. That was a little bit about the strong relationship between insect and fungi. Which organisms can be in the fresh wood is the next step. And yeah, I have listed some of the most important groups here. Bark beetles, Scolytine. They are nowadays regarded as a subgroup of weevils. So they are called ine in the end. Longhorn beetles, Cerambycidae, jewels beetles, Buprestidae, and horntail Ciricidae are some of the most important groups. And bark beetles are very, very special in many ways. I thought it should come an arrow. They make a mother gallery under the bark, where the parents, they mate under the bark, and then the mother makes this gallery. And in the edge of the gallery, you can see small pockets where they put their eggs, and then the larvae eat their ways out through these larval galleries, which becomes broader and broader the more the larvae grows. And that is very specific for bark beetles, that the parents actually enter the wood. But that makes it possible for them to inoculate fungi and stuff. And these bark beetles, they are often very easy to identify just by the galleries. We have Tomicus minor, which I talked about a minute ago. It makes mother galleries against the fibers, and under the same type of bark you can find Ipsacuminatus, which make these more star-like structures. Also very strong blue stain fungus insect. You can see it's very short larval galleries also for this species. But this species also makes like a star. It's the male that sits in the middle of the star and have several females that it mates with. And then each female make one mother gallery out, and that is the arms of this star, so to say. And then, yeah, it's very evident which species you have just from seeing the gallery. It's also, you can also identify somewhat from just the powder that comes out of the bark. If you have a ordinary bark beetle, like for example Ips typographus in your spruce, the feeding, the frass that comes out is brown, or it can be white, and then it's probably Trypodendron lineatum or some other species that goes right into the wood and not only under the bark. Longhorn beetles are common in fresh wood also. I don't know really how much damage they make because they are a little bit slower usually, but Monocamus sutor is doing very typical galleries also. You can see the light part here on the wood is from the larvae which feed around, and then they make a flat hole when they go into the wood, and long way into the wood they make a pupae, and then they rear out through this circular hole. And if you turn this wood piece around, you have a lot of really large holes in the wood. And I don't think this is a big problem nowadays, but in the old days when timber was stored for a while, then these holes could be problematic. There's a lot of other longhorn beetles that live just under the bark also, and less complicated in that way. Jewel beetles, they are so nice, like jewels, they usually, and they really like sun-exposed hot logs. It should be warm environments, and they usually make galleries where they just under the cambium. Some of them goes into the wood also, and you have typical bow-like feeding frass after them. And these jewel beetles are not very well known to spread fungus, but we are actually in this pine project, which I told you about some minute ago, we are actually suspecting that one jewel beetle is actually spreading this blue stain fungi. We are trying to check if that is really true. It's our hypothesis right now, at least, but it's not proven yet. Jump. And then we have these horntails. It's not beetles, it's a type of wasps that come to extremely. I once felled a spruce, and then 2 hours later they were coming and laying eggs. So they are really good at targeting freshly dead trees. And the larvae live in the wood for a long time, and then they rear out through these circular holes, and you can see my thumb there. The holes are rather big, but they usually vary a lot in size. That's a way to suspect that it's horntails that are in the wood, because the females are much larger than the males. So therefore they make holes with really big variation in the size, although it's the same species. Yeah, that was what I had had planned to tell you. I told you about the dead trees as habitat, more seen from an ecological point of view. And I told you about the strong relations between insect and fungi. And I presented the bark beetles, the longhorn beetles, the jewel beetles, and the horntails for you. Yeah, if you have some questions afterwards now, I can't take them. Now I should get out of this presentation. It will be
Thank you very much. I believe that for people who are on daily basis only seeing the logs, it was a good insight information why and how these visual marks on the logs are being created, who is behind it. And probably for Uldis, it was a more familiar thing since they have seen one or other trails on the logs as well, or on the sawmill part of the field. And yeah, I would like ask Uldi, probably you could also comment from your side. How much wood are you losing due to the insects and fungi, or how it impacts probably the sales or similar questions due to summer season? What is happening to your sawmill?
Yes, thanks a lot, Mats, for really interesting and like as assuming this is not only this one word what Ivars was mentioning, but much more than this. And I have seen a lot of many these different actually holes or so in the sawn timber, and I can say really, like you said, that these big ones is much more seldom than, for example, in these small ones in the spruce, which was most probably what was this? It can be, was it? Just a moment. This was this
Rhododendron, maybe.
Pomicus minor, maybe, or so,
Yeah.
or so they are really much more bigger than, or much more often. Maybe it's even some, but the small ones is really. And the problem is, if blue stained wood you can still use somewhere, and this blue stained mainly this is actually coming in the spine. We was maybe not presenting, but I recognize that when you were speaking about species, we should highlight that we are working only with spruce and with a pine, and so this is these two main species, and I could say that this low grade shares in the summertime is almost doubling normally. So and this is really making the huge impact, and the issue in the really, it's a lot depend, of course, on the market situation, but in worst case, then this damaged wood is costing the same as a log price, for example, in the forest, so this material price. And that means that normally you are getting in very average, so from 2 cubic meters of logs, you are getting 1 cubic meter sawn timber. So then you can imagine that if you would add also this production costs here, and so it's clearly then huge impact negative to the mill if we are destroying. And very often we are trying, of course, not to buy or to separate these logs in our these purchasing places. But the problem is when you're storing the logs in your yard, there is a place where this insects is getting in, because there is a quite big accumulated this amount of the timber, and that's now we know that it's tens of kilometers they can fly, so they are coming, and then in summer you can see these insects everywhere, even in the office, and so it's really impact ours, and if you have been planning maybe for some buildings, especially these products, and like here for building solutions just in time, then it's very easy. You can understand that maybe you cannot use some part of this logs anymore, and it's already making challenge that you deliver this ready solution in the time, because you need to produce something what is then for the maybe lower grade use for some really every timber is for some use, but then it's another market, another price, and then you are not adding value here. So it's really is a quite big problem. Of course, one could say that maybe this is possibility to process quicker, but there is also some specialities in the productions that you need some certain diameter of logs for each product, and then you need to accumulate, and yeah, especially this for bigger productions, the timber needs to be accumulated for some time. You cannot process it in the next day when you are receiving. So sometimes it stands few weeks and sometimes months maybe, and therefore you need to water it. But that's a very, very quick comment and here, but it was really great to see this and refreshing news about this insects and fungi. So thanks.
Yeah, we had a really lot of blue stained timber standing in the Swedish and probably in the Latvian and most European forest from killed by a spruce bark beetle, but some sawmills were able to sell this anyway, although it was really blue, the wood, because in some countries they seem to accept it, but the Swedes are too picky.
Yes, I would say in that kind, if you are purchasing already then this dead thing, for example, logs, if you know that the logs are dead, you can of course think about products from this, and then maybe it's a not problem if you know, okay, I will get maybe 1,000 cubic meters of such logs, then I could find easily products, calculate if this is we can get also this use and it can be profitable. That's another story, because then you are targeting special dimensions, special use, and it can even be profitable. But the problem is if you are buying the fresh logs, taking to your stock, putting in the pile, and then you are producing maybe these products which is then planned for the more value-added products, and then, oh, this is damaged in our yards. So therefore we are concentrating now here how to not lose this quality in our yards. So this is a main challenge what we would like to raise here. It's this bark beetle which is in forest. This is actually becoming a huge problem in Latvia as well. So I was in forest in last week, and it was really pity to see that the very nice spruce trees are now getting dry during the one summer. So I think this is a global problem what we need to solve. But yeah, that's already another hackathon and another, I guess, a lot of scientists is working on this.
Yeah, thank you both for the comments. I believe Matt gave a very good insight also for those who at the very initial part of the challenge invitation were asking like why it's divided in these two subtopics, but I believe that this question is now replied by Matt, telling the strong connection between the fungi and insects, that it's almost like the story with the egg and the hen, like you can't say which one is first and who is causing more damage. But yeah, I hope that we will see and meet Mats also in upcoming events. We will let you know also regarding the teams and the solutions probably, which will require also some comments or consultations from your side. But at this moment, I am willing to say a big thank you both to Matt and also to our colleague Eva, who managed to get us closer together and get you also to this webinar. And yeah, thank you, Matt. And if any of you have any questions still left, please write them in the chat and we will forward them also for the answering part after the event. But we will move forward. We are just on time to move to the next part, and this will be the story from Anna regarding everything, what is BioBoosters, what hides behind this name, who are we, and what we have done already within the past year. So Anna, welcome, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Let me just take a moment to share. I hope it shows well.
It's on the way.
Okay.
Yeah, now we can see it.
Okay, I have a little bit unstable internet connection today, but hopefully we will manage. So I'm here to present about the BioBoosters, which is both a project and the Bioeconomy Business Accelerator, where we are working here in the Institute of Bioeconomy of JAMK University of Applied Sciences in central Finland. So our accelerator has been working with this hackathon model for many years now. This is in fact the 25th BioBoosters hackathon with this same concept, but for the international hackathons run in this BioBoosters project of the Interact Baltic Sea Region, this will be then the 13th, but hopefully a lucky one still. Okay, so first a few words about the project we are working and which is enabling the organization of this hackathon as well. So the BioBoosters project, Boosting Circular Transition, is funded by the Interact Baltic Sea Region program, as mentioned, and we have funding for 3 years to run 18 business-driven hackathons to boost circular transition of the bioeconomy sectors in the Baltic Sea region and launch up to 20 or more research, development and innovation or business cooperations as a result of these hackathons. The hackathons are bringing together a minimum of 500 specialists focusing on different expertise areas related to circular transition, including also digitalization and know-how from different bioeconomy sectors. So we are building an innovation community around the Baltic Sea region for smart and sustainable bioeconomy development. And who we are, as Inguna mentioned, we come from 7 countries around the Baltic Sea region. We have 2 partners in Sweden, Biofuel Region and Paper Province. From Finland, we are in central Finland, in JAMK University of Applied Sciences. We operate in Jyväskylä and Saarijärvi in our bioeconomy campus. Then from Germany, we have Vidzeme Science and Business Park, Pro Civis Foundation from Poland, Sunrise Tech Park from Lithuania, Vidzeme, and from Estonia, Center of Bioeconomy from the Estonian University of Life Sciences and Pärnu County Development Center. So we represent 9 regions with smart bioeconomy focus, and we have different sectors of bioeconomy covered in our networks, and we can bring this cross-sectoral connections and know-how, the network of networks to support all of these hackathons and to find solutions and find mentors to support the solution provider teams. This is maybe the most important slide I would like to share with you in this event. So this is what to be expected when entering this hackathon process. So today we are at the launch webinar. We are launching the open call. And as you can see, there has been a lot of work before that already. We have, or we are always starting the process with detailed development discussion with the challenge provider, in this case, Stora Enso. We are working to confirm all the steps of the hackathon process to make sure that the outcome will reflect the needs of the challenge provider, and also that we have a promise for the solution providers. We can say what is the offer for the winning teams, what can we offer for all the participating teams. So formulation of the challenge, figuring out what do we want to look for, what kind of teams we are searching for, what expertise we need to connect with the mentoring, and what are the evaluation criteria and what is the offer for the solution providers. This is very important phase. And now we are ready to enter the open call. And this will be the time for us to run communication campaigns within the whole network, to look from our networks, from our partnerships, potential solution providers, and to attract these teams to join the process. Get different kinds of ideas, get a overall view of what could be done to solve a particular challenge. Then when the call closes, in this case, the 15th of November, we will get ready to select the teams and then move on to the kickoff. In this case, this will be very short. In time in between the closing of the call and the kickoff, so correct me if I'm wrong, but the kickoff is 21st of...
Yeah,
yes.
Latvians like to do things fast.
Yes, 21st of November. So if you apply, please stay tuned for the results, and you will get notice by the 19th of November if you are selected or not. And then in 2 days from there, we would hope to see you in the kickoff. Usually we have had, let's say, around 10 to 14 would be maybe the average of how many teams have applied, but there is a big variation. So even 25 teams have applied to certain challenges. So depending on the numbers, this might be a bigger or smaller process to select the teams. But in any case, that's something that happens right away after closing the call. So then you come to the kickoff. This will be a webinar where you will get together with all of the teams. You will get to learn about each other's ideas shortly. You will get feedback from the challenge provider and from the mentors. You will get ideas on what to work on, what to improve before the actual hackathon days. So the hackathon will take place on the 5th to 6th of December, and there the first day is dedicated for mentoring and getting ideas on how to finalize your cooperation proposal for Stora Enso. And the second day, you will be delivering your pitch presentation as a solution provider, and then the winner will be announced and the cooperation can start from there. So this is the process we have been perfecting with the help of so far 24 other challenge providers, and hopefully can deliver impactful learning experience for everybody involved, whether mentors or solution providers, and of course for Stora Enso team as well. So the first 9 international hackathons we have been running in this project are here. The thematic areas have been mainly focusing on valorization of biological side streams, transitioning the bio-based industries, so finding high value bio-based ingredients, discovering bio-based packaging solutions, and replacing these sort of non-renewable products with bio-based alternatives. But also a very core subject for us is sustainable biomass sourcing, optimizing the use of bioresources with digitalization, but also other types of technologies, solutions, approaches. So you can find some information about all of our hackathons in our LinkedIn channel, but also there will be a publication coming out later this year featuring all of these 9 impact stories. And with these 9 hackathons, we have been able to launch 11 official cooperations between the winners and the challenge providers. a lot more has also happened as a spin-off of these innovation platforms. Also to mention, 5 of these 11 winners were international, so we have attracted teams from all around the Baltic Sea region and Europe to these hackathons. We have received 123 applications, 64 teams have been selected, and almost 300 participants have joined the hackathon so far. And they have generally been happy with the experience and would also recommend it to their friends or colleagues. So we have a very high percentage of participants who would on a scale from 0 to 10 give us a 9 or 10 to the question, would you recommend BioBoosters Hackathon to friends or colleagues? So our overall net promoter score is 57 if you are familiar with the concept. And mentioning the interregional cooperation or the international aspect, we have a lot of teams coming from Sweden, Finland, also Poland, Germany, then from the Baltic countries, and we have also seen participants from Denmark and Norway, and furthermore then from the other European countries. Leading countries would be Spain and Belgium. So hopefully we can see better numbers with the Latvian participants in the second round. So I'm encouraging the Latvian networks to apply and join, and we'll get the first winner as well during the second round. Shortly, just mentioning, we have also other open calls related to smart logistics for recycled nutrients. 10 days still to go with the open call. Skellefteå Kraft is looking for digitalization solutions for tracking their biomass in their energy operations. And Karlstads Energi is looking for uses for recycled wine corks. That call is also open still for 10 days. And finally, the call opening today with the Stora Enso Hackathon. So everything you can find in our LinkedIn. So BioBoosters in LinkedIn, I will share you the link in the chat. I'm sorry if I'm over time.
Oh, you have still 1 minute left. You are becoming very good, and Anna could be a pioneer on how to pitch the BioBooster story in a very efficient, clear, and attractive way. So thank you very much, Anna, for telling the story behind everything here. And I hope that was encouragement not only to our challenge provider, Stora Enso, for the team of Uldis and Ivers, who has been trusting our advice already for a couple of months, and we have been in a close communication. And I hope that this gives also a bigger insight also for those teams who are willing to apply, that this BioBooster concept and idea we are working on is actually bringing you closer to this international market, and you are becoming more involved in a network which helps you afterwards, also after the hackathon days. So not only these 10 weeks, but every step starting from the challenge invitation up till the final feedback from all the involved parties are carefully looked after. We are doing our best to promote everything we are doing and still set up a very high quality level. But yeah, final remarks from my side before we also move to the final questions and probably some remarks or comments from the participants. Anna already very nicely mentioned all of the dates, but probably for this communication and recording materials, it will be better also to see this visually once again. So starting from today, from this moment, the call is officially open. And within the minute, I will provide also the link, which for us is the most important one for the teams and everyone who are, yeah, here is the link already from Anna, and here will be the most important link for us and for Stora Enso. Please use this and go check the application form, apply for the hackathon yourself, or advise and talk with the partners, SMEs, research institutes, any interested party who would be willing to work on the bright ideas regarding the Stora Enso challenge. Then you can mark the next date on your calendars as a deadline, which is 15th of November, as mentioned before, that it will be the date where the final mark should be done and a final application should be submitted. And we will meet afterwards already in a couple of days with the teams which will be selected. So for teams and the project partners and all involved parties, the most intensive work will be now this upcoming month. While for us, together with Stora Enso, we will need to spend 2 days to get through all of the applications, select the next stage teams, and see them on the kickoff meeting. And yeah, and most exciting part, which we already mentioned at the very beginning, was regarding the 5th and 6th December here in Latvia. We will meet here for 2 hackathon days, as promised already at the very early stage of the launch webinar. You will have the possibility to visit Launch Mill, see everything with your eyes, talk with all these achievers in a real life, not only on the online version. And we will be happy to invite you to work on the final steps of your solution. Also, just to remind, and once again, pay attention that this autumn we are not only working with Stora Enso, and this is not only a story about one hackathon, but all of these which were mentioned by Anna before. Please go check the information also for especially those calls who are closing earlier in upcoming days until the end of October, but you haven't seen the information yet. Probably you're interested in these topics, but from our side, I would say that this is it, and we have provided all the information regarding challenge, regarding the company, regarding the possible mentors, and also some insights more deeply into the topic regarding the insects and fungi. And I hope that this has been a good start for any of you to become interested in application. Once again, see the link, apply, and spread the good news regarding the Stora Enso hackathon application, both in your social media or around companies and organizations who are working with the wood industry, regarding the bioeconomy, or any topic which you have in mind and is sounding similar to these topics. But yeah, from our side, it would be all. If any of you have any questions or comments, this is the opportunity for last 5 minutes to have them. Maybe all this has some also final remarks from the company side.
Thanks a lot. Looks great, and then looking really for the great cooperation and hope on solutions so that we can already implement and test in the next summer. So it's coming quite soon, finally.
Yeah, we are happy to be also the ones who are moving quite fast forward with the collaboration afterwards. So we hope that this will be another good impact story we will be able to share for this next year. And yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. The recording of this webinar will be available afterwards if you missed any detail or would like to rewatch and get some reminders regarding information you heard today. But yeah, once again, thank you very much, and follow the information both in a BioBoosters and a Vidzeme Planning Region channels, and let me or my colleague Christianis know if you have any additional information. Our contacts are also everywhere where this information regarding the hackathon invitation is published. So yeah, we will be happy to help, and we are looking forward to see your applications in upcoming weeks. Thank you very much.